Hello, racers. I'm here with Dink Holmes, the winner of Silver State $100,000 Friday at the Fling. Dink, how you doing today?
I'm hanging in there, man. Doing okay for a young man.
You still have that same smile you had on Friday night. I don't.
Yes, sir. I'm always smiling, man. Always trying to be joyful, man.
You know, a lot of people, racers and kids alike, can take a page out of your book. Dink, you truly have fun. The way you present yourself and the vibe that you give off is something that we could all learn in the sport that sometimes gets taken way too serious.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I mean, yeah, because I actually this weekend, man, after I won the hundred, the next day, man, I had a young kid come up to me and he asked me, he said, hey man, did you get nervous in the final? And I said, man, nah, man, that in the lower rounds, man, that's when I'm the most calm, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's gonna be a storm down here, but you got to be calm before that storm hit. You know what I mean? So my rounds like that, and I wouldn't even say ever get nervous, but I know it's crunch time, and when pressure is on, is in the early rounds because I know once I get past these long layovers of sitting at the trailer and stuff like that, we can get into a groove and we can get on a roll in the late rounds. You know, especially getting down into the semis and things like that. Man, I'm cool as a cucumber when I go up there.
And I saw that. I saw that and I felt that. 410 of the best races in the country piled into GALOT, and for the big day with all the chips on the table, you cleaned house, man. It was very impressive to watch.
Yes, sir. And
Um,
I'm very thankful that I could, even get through like that, man. Because I mean, I wasn't gonna come to the race, because I was just down there the week before and run it up, and I wanted to just not miss any time from work. You know how it is about work and stuff like that. Sometimes, even though I'm self-employed or whatever, but at the same time, sometimes I just like to get that guaranteed money. So I said, man. But then everybody was hitting me up, man. You crazy if you don't go back down there. You crazy if you don't go back down there. So I said, man, I go ahead and shoot on back down there. And my dad also was like, man, let's just go on down there, man, and see if we can knock them off one time.
yeah, let's not take away from the fact, like you just mentioned, that probably a lot of people that are listening to this don't know. You almost cracked them for 21,000 the week before. You run it up.
Yes, sir.
So what a month. I mean, you're playing with house money for the rest of 2022 from what I could see.
Yes, sir. And man, I never had really had like a story like this, man. I had won a lot of things, man, but to be able to actually, they've been racing since what March or whatever. So man, I haven't that weekend the 21K and the Fling was my first two races of the season, and I I come out like this, man, and with a brand new paint job and stuff like that. So I'm just thankful, man, right now, to be able to even come out and even show people that I can showcase the people that I can do that, because I have people, back here at home, that really don't know that I drag race and stuff like that, but when they seen that, they woke them up a little bit like, oh shit, man, like I didn't know you did that, but some things, I just feel like isn't to be, to the open to a lot of people because a lot of people don't understand drag racing. So, a lot of things sometimes I just keep it to myself and just go out there and just handle my business that I know what I gotta do.
Well, whether they understand drag racing or not, six digits will get anybody's attention.
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's a lot of zeros behind that
Yes,
one.
sir.
And yeah, you rolling up, it all came back to me. You rolling up that morning, Friday morning for the new entry time run, and you painted your car. So, and you really upgraded your car. It looks badass
Yes, sir.
compared to, not that it was bad before, but you really made it look good.
Yeah.
Um, you rolled up, and I remember peeking in and say, "What?" Emily and I were putting your car numbers on for you,
Yeah.
and you were smiling then, and damn, you smile. Who would have known at that point that 14 hours later you'd be standing in a winter circle collecting 100 G's?
Right. Exactly, man. And You know, I talk, I talk a lot of shit. You know, I smile a lot, but I talk a lot of trash too. You know, so a lot of guys, they so used to me talk, being that type of way that when I go in an interview and I actually give some type of motivation, I think it kind of like smooth some people out from me. Something like to say like, he's actually a good guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I sensed that the most impressive thing to me was, so being a racer myself and now being on the other side of things, watching you races at the Fling events, I can usually get a feel for the vibe of the racers, who has their game face on, who's nervous, who's who's having fun. The vibe you had, the vibe that came off of you was just that you were just having fun, and it was a vibe of fun, and you were definitely confident.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what I felt when you rolled into the staging lanes.
Yes, sir. Because I mean, and just a huge shout out to my dad, man, because man, just coming up in the junior dragster world, he was very hard on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially coming off the bottom bub and everything like that. It's just he was so hard on me about being missing a tree and things like that, being nervous and things like that. Even in the when in the 100 final, he came over there to me and he said, "Look, just be calm, even though I'm already calm, it's just the reassurance of just being able to know like somebody's there backing you, and can be able to view you as that type of person, like, and be like, he looks a little rattled, let me calm him down a little bit. But, you know, um, that's really my hero, man, just because he always kept me just so intact with this racing deal, man, because I just feel like, man, this racing deal is just so much of a mindset, man. Like, because it's so easy to get rattled. You know what I'm saying? Because especially with the guy
100%.
in the next lane to you, man, you pull up beside him. I mean, like some guys might pull up beside you. I'm like, oh, I got Peter Biondo, and that's just not. I just feel like sometimes that's not the mindset to have in this thing. Just be, because we all got to go to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep. And so you came from juniors. Did you ever think, like while you were running juniors, I don't know how much success you've had, and you could talk about that a little bit while you were in juniors, but did you ever think you'd be collecting $100,000 big check?
uh I knew it was a chance, Peter. I really did. I knew I had high chances at especially anything that I put my mind to. I always have a high chance at it. I always put that in my head to always know that it's no reason of being out here if you don't feel like you have a chance. You know what I'm saying? So I always have high hopes on myself, on my own side, on my own time and stuff like that. So man, and that in juniors, man, that helped me so much because I had so much success in juniors. Also, I won track champion. I've
Nice.
I won bracket finals. I went to the bracket finals, won every race at the bracket finals of that year. I mean, really now I have actually what 3 Ironman and in a Wally. So and all those come from junior dragster racing. So I just kind of relayed everything over until the door cards, and I've been on a little roll, here over the last years, and then especially with the 100Ks, man, I got to I think it was 3 or 4 100K splits, man. I just could not get over the hump of 10 cars every time, and I was like, man, all you gotta do, man, you get over there. And I told my brother at the track, I said, my brother has the Charco Vet. And I told him, I said, man, look, I was like, this the round for me right here. I said, I got a little curse on me right here. I said, if I get past this round, I feel good, and ended up getting past the 10 cars. I said, just got to keep the same mind, just stay calm and stuff like that. And just, you know, don't think about it too much. Just don't even think about the money. Cause sometimes, man, I get to the point and I let you, I don't know if you noticed, I was like, when we were talking to money and I said, I'm gonna let my dad handle all of that, and cause sometimes I get to thinking about the money and I hear the money and stuff like that. And I'm just like, man, I get up, my head get all messed up and stuff like that. So sometimes I don't even go to over there where they talk the money, man, because I just know where I need to be mentally, you know, on the track. And you know, just coming, and then also coming up for juniors and stuff like that, man. There's a lot of guys that I race with. I actually came up, me and Sean Sarah is 26 years old, and we both came up racing juniors together and everything. So that was also cool to just be able to run him, knowing that I ran junior drags with him also in the same age group and everything.
That was really cool. And
Yes, sir.
you, I mean, I'll just say you're humble, but the more I get to know you, the more I talk to you. You've been kicking ass since day one,
Yes,
back in the
sir.
juniors, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
No, sir. Yeah, I gotta keep it rolling.
And you said you made a comment in your winner circle in the interview in a tower that something to the effect that when you get on a roll, you just don't think it just happens naturally.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember saying that?
Yes, sir. You know, one thing that I always coming up, man, because it was a guy, I can't remember his name, man. I was racing at Buzz Creek. It was my third race into a big car running quarter mile. And I just came out of juniors, and I went and I won the race in the quarter mile. And you know, they don't really run quarter like that anymore. And when I get back to the trailer, man, the guy came over there to the trailer, and he said, "You're a natural," you know. And ever since that day when he said that to me, I'm just like, man, you know, this thing really got to be in you and not on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of guys, you know, they wear a good hat on or whatever like that. But man,
Put a
at
game
the end of
face,
the
yeah.
day, man, when we step up there to that line, man, it's either in you or it isn't. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just always, you know, and I've always been a natural with all things, you know, just anything I put my mind to, anything I put my hands to, I just always was pretty good at it. At, you know, especially I'm here to admit it and say I'm a sore loser. So when I lose, man, I sit there and I analyze, I pick apart myself and what did you do wrong? What could you do better? You know, all of those things, you know, even though racing isn't even really something that you can really pick apart, but you know, it's just little things, the small things for me of what I look at into this racing deal, you know, and just going up there and just believing in what you got in you, you know, because like I said, back again to what I said, you know, about certain guys may get nervous. I'm not knowing, you know, I'm just speaking for myself, but certain guys may get nervous, but hey, sometimes, man, just believing in yourself, you'll never get rattled.
Yeah, like you said earlier, think it's probably 95% mental.
Yes, sir.
And what if you were to tell Junior Drax, the kid that's watching this right now, if you could tell him, if you can give him one piece of advice, um, as far as going out of juniors, getting into big cars, and mixing it up in the Shark Tank that you just mix it up in at the Fling, what one piece of advice would you give to these kids?
Really just believe. That's just, you know, that's just the word of the day. You gotta believe, you know, because I know coming up watching you guys, I watched, you know, you, Bertozzi, and all of those guys, man. It's just like once you finally get into that seat and you be able to raise these guys, it's like, oh man, you know, like that's Peter Biondo or you know, Bertozzi over there next to me. Oh man, but it's like, you know, you just got to get in there, man. And I just am a firm believer in not thinking too much, you know. And if I could relay a message over, you know, and also being relaxed, just be relaxed in the car, you know, especially in a big car, man, because it's all about, you know, it all starts up front, you know what I'm saying? So if you can just be relaxed and cool and just let the race come to you, everything else will work in your favor.
Yeah, we like this. Marco Paravallaris and I like to say we race together a few times and we feed off each other, and we like to say trust the process and the win lights will follow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel that 100%.
Gas or alcohol?
We on gas. We're on gas. Big radiator, so we can sit there all day.
No one's burning you down.
No, sir.
What size engine?
It's a 565. Yes,
Well,
sir.
it's
Just a heavy car, so
it's a nice car. It's heavy. It runs a number, and you know, you're an inspiration. I think you said it in your speech, in your interview at the end. You said something to the effect, Dink, that believe in yourself, because if you can do it, anyone can do it. And how you, it's just the way you said that. I think you probably have a lot more impact on people than you think, especially when you went on a big stage like that.
Right, exactly. And that and just being on that big stage and being able to say that, man, it was an honor, man, because like I said, man, it's some guys, man, and I like you said, it's the mindset and everything like that. I just feel like some guys, they might say they believe, but I just feel like some guys don't 100% believe in themselves, you know. And I just don't, I can't get it through my head to see how a person doesn't, you know. And once it gets to that part where you can just, you know, 100% believe in your car, your equipment, everything that you have, you know, at the track, man, everything else will flow, you know, because you can get everything off your mind. All you have to do, I think about this all the time. I say, all you have to do is just, you know, have a mindset for 5 minutes from the time that you cross over that white line, when you put your helmet on, to the time you get in that burnout box and get to the line. You only have to have a laser focus for 5 minutes, man. And I just, you know, I just don't see why anybody else couldn't do it if I can, you know.
Well said. And
Yes,
what's next?
another one.
Are you going to stay
Another.
local, or are you going to travel much, or?
Oh yeah, I do a lot of traveling, man. Well, actually here, especially being here in Richmond, and you got VMP and things like that. VMP had, you know, they had big races and stuff like that. So they have a 20 or 10, they have a 20,000 coming up here on my birthday weekend. I won that last year. That 20,000. So they had a triple threat coming up, and then we have a 75K and some more things, and then it's a lot of races that I'm thinking about coming to. It's definitely, I'm going to be at the next Fling for sure. So,
Well, we'd love to have you. And like I mentioned earlier, there's not everybody that walks around with a smile on their face, and more importantly, that's genuine.
yes, sir.
And it was a pleasure watching you do what you do.
Yes, sir, man. And that's just what it's all about, is just being genuine and showing everybody love. That's what I'm all about, man.
Well, you were raised right.
Yes, sir.
You have a lot of character, and you're a hell of a drag racer. So keep up the good work.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it, man. Definitely.
All right, we'll see you down the road. Thanks for your
All right.
time.
All right. Thank you.